Well, he says he grew up geeky, but finally found his place in comedy, faith, and life. Joining us this morning, actor Rainn Wilson. Good to see you again, Rainn.
Hi, how are you?
Hi there, I'm doing well. So last time I talked with you, you mentioned that you were working on this book, The Bassoon King. Talks about your life journey, the wild highs and lows. I've had a good time reading it. Did you have a tough time deciding which stories in your journey of life to share?
That's funny. You know, that was my preparation for the book, was just jotting down all the funny, weird stories. I've got a lot of funny, weird stories over the course of my life. And I don't want to overshare, you know, but at the same time, I really did want to reveal, like, who I am, like, what I went through, my struggles, my hardships, both comedic and tragic, because it's our failures and our difficulties that really teach us who we are and make us who we are. And I wouldn't have been Dwight, for instance, if I hadn't bombed on Broadway.
Art of the swap. I will walk out of this garage sale with the finest item here.
Through that test, though, I learned a lot about myself, a lot about acting, and that enabled me to be Dwight. So sometimes your biggest hardships can end up being your biggest victories.
Yeah, that's so true. I thought it was funny when I was reading about when you were starting out in New York as an actor and your apartment had no heat, there was no shower. And is it really true that the bathroom was like filled with rats?
Oh, yeah. No, it's not an exaggeration. Like swarms of rats, like you see in movies, you know, with like 10 or 12 rats circling around and then scattering away like cockroaches.
I thought maybe you say you'd wanted to be an actor because, you know, you appreciated the art or because of the challenge, but I appreciated your honesty in the book. You basically said it was for the girls.
It was. I was such a dork. I was on the chess team. I was a bassoon player, hence the title. But once I started being a drama geek and I realized I could make girls laugh and then they would pay attention to me and occasionally even make out with me, then oh, forget it. Forget the rest of the stuff. I was a drama nerd after that point.
Yeah, you lovingly say drama nerd. You call yourself a geek in the book. Are you still a geek today, or with success do you lose that title?
I am a geek. I mean, I like science fiction, and I play chess, and I've got some kind of nerdy pursuits that I like. But you know, what's great is people don't really care anymore. You know, they don't seem to. Nerds are much more honored and accepted, and my son, for instance, he plays Dungeons and Dragons, but he's also on the flag football team.
I enjoyed this section of the book. It's towards the back where it says 10 things I know for sure, and you talk about happiness and how people do different things to try to find happiness, and you basically said service is the #1 thing. And then I go to #2 here, and it says, if you think you're being funny, you're not being funny.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake in comedy, and some of the worst comedy, either on TV or anywhere, is when people know that they're being funny. So they kind of have a kind of like that twinkle in their eye of like, I know I'm being really funny, and that's just not funny to watch for me. I like to watch people who are really going through something, struggling through something, and you get to just laugh at the character. To me, that's where real comedy comes from.
So many crazy stories in this book. Very enjoyable. The Bassoon King. Thank you so much, Rainn Wilson. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.